Alright, MG Rob back with you, and today we're going to look at Project Ginsu's rear hatch. Now it may seem like a bit of an odd time to start looking at that, but sometimes I will skip around a little bit because that's what my mind's working on at the moment. And this is something I've been thinking about for a long time, and when I start getting an inspiration to do something with it, I got to jump on it then. So here we go. All right, since the mic I use is a wired mic and doesn't have as long a cord as I'd like, I'm just gonna have to speak up for this one and hope that the audio quality is good enough. But here we are at the back of the car. So the hatch doesn't fit because I widened the car 2.5 inches, and now the hatch needs widened in order to fit. But it's not going to be quite so simple as just cutting it and widening it, and I can't just cut it in the middle. I want to stick with stock glass and stock seals and all that stuff. So the idea is to cut it right here and right here, right where I cut the body, and then cut it around the glass opening and bring the rest of it out to match the body. And there's going to be some finesse in making that work, especially since you got this curve here. It curves this way, so there's something I've been thinking about for a while, pondering, and so I thought it's time to start actually trying to make something work here. So whenever you do a project like this, there's always going to be lots of time sitting around thinking, you know, kind of the whole thought experiment kind of thing, to try to work out how to make something like this actually work. More time thinking can save you a lot of time cutting. And I don't want to cut it apart, weld it back together, have it all screwed up, and have to do it all over again. All right, so the initial thought is basically just do a straight cut through there, which I can represent that cut with some tape. But in order to do a straight cut through to there, it puts it so high up on this here that that's not going to work. Because essentially the amount I'm cutting out is going to, or adding in, is going to be almost the width of 2 pieces of tape. And you see how much curve there is here. But when I take it out, I'm taking it out almost in a straight line, which leaves you a big difference. So you got to consider that, which means even though I want to cut this here, I need to cut up, and I need to offset the cut somewhere up in here in order to not have to put as much time and effort into recreating the curve and, you know, more tricky fabrication. So we'll just look at this as a straight line this way. And then we'll start out looking at this as more of a straight line up, which still isn't going to work because it's too high up on here. So we got to figure out how far back down here to go to get into a workable area. But you also have to consider that it is curving this way a little bit, and that's going to complicate matters quite a bit. So if we bring that up somewhere in more about into here, that gives us very little change in the line there. So now I'll be cutting it somewhere in the middle here. We'll just eyeball generally the middle of that. since I may potentially put this badge back on, I'll cut it underneath that badge. Now I would like to look at the inner structure. The inner structure comes all the way up into here, above that hole. It would be preferable to actually cut that where the inner structure is not in the way to be able to work the metal, which means I would have to redo this hole if I retain that badge. Now doing a step cut like this is pretty much what I did on the inside of this. And one thing that does do is once you slide that out, it gives you something you can clamp to and a good line to weld to solidify things, to tack weld things together, kind of get things solidified while you're working on the gaps that are offset. And it actually makes it a little bit stronger because you don't have one straight weld line. But that would let me redo this. Actually, it'd be a good idea just to do it this way. And give myself a nice straight. And when I do pull this out, these angles are going to have to change. I'm going to have to do some bending and tweaking of all this to make it all kind of line up. But that's actually not too bad of a line. That might work out reasonably well. So now if I think about it a little bit and look at it and a little while longer before I actually make the cuts, to decide whether there's anything else I need to do or if I need to change anything. But now the thing is I need to take measurements from this side and transfer all that over to this side so that I have it laid out exactly the same. So now if I end up deciding that this is going to work, then I will draw a line right on the edge of the tape here, down here, and that will be my cut lines for the outside skin. Then I'll have to take the hatch off and look closer at the inner structure here to decide exactly where I'm going to cut that inside. I have spent many hours looking at this car, doing stuff just like this to figure out how to make it work and how to make it all come together and to get what I've got so far. And there'll be many more hours of that before it's done. So if you think that's interesting and you'd like to see a little bit of the process here, let me know. Tell me in the comments. But that'll be it for today. It's MG Rob. Later.